Bucs fans. That was a steaming pile of dog shit. Yeah, if you're a non-Buccaneers fan, that was probably a fun game to watch. It had a lot in it. It had explosive plays. It had twists and turns. It had interceptions. It had some good defense, very little, but it had some good defense in it. It was power-packed full of everything you wanted to see. From a Bucs fan's perspective, it was straight fucking dog shit because we failed in almost every facet of the game. Yes, the offense looked better. Yes, the run game was decent. It was solid. It was very solid. But it wasn't enough because we couldn't stop them. And that's what grinds my gears today about it. Something's got to change in the play calling, the structure, the defensive scheme has got to change to a point where we are putting ourselves in the best position to win. Because right now, all I'm seeing is it doesn't matter what fucking down it is, someone's going to be fucking open. If the Buccaneers don't get a sack or they don't run the football, someone's going to complete a pass. That's all I see. Now, without further ado, I'm going to bring my guy Louis on. This guy knows his ball. Coming from Boston, I believe, he is going to talk. The only Buccaneer fan in that area and has to deal with all those Patriot fans. Give a big warm welcome to Louis.
What's happening, Coach? Look, those Patriot fans were non-existent for about 5 years, and they just recently appeared now. So that was a tough loss, but this was an even bigger loss for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
I mean, the sad part is that we put up the points and we still couldn't get the victory. And I agree with what you were saying. Something's got to give. There's something wrong. Something needs to be fixed. And now we're going to LA next week. And the Rams, like I was telling AJ in the pregame show, brother, they're not a cakewalk. That's not no walk in the park neither.
There's these 3 games, and I said to this, we've got to walk away, in my opinion, with one of them. We've got at minimum. Otherwise, this 3-game period has been a failure. All right, you've got to walk away with 1. You walk away with 2, you're feeling good. You walk away with 3, you are flying into the playoffs. Because this next 6-game period after that becomes almost a cupcake, right? And we know that. We know what the Buccaneers have got ahead of them. They're going to go against the likes of the division. They're going to go up against the Saints. They're going to go up against Carolina twice. And they're going to go up against the Falcons.
Miami,
and on top of that,
you got Miami too.
You've got Miami, who, I'm not, but at the same time, it looks harder when you are going through loss after loss after loss because that cupcake doesn't look like a cupcake anymore. That cupcake looks like it could be a mean piece of cake.
Yeah.
That means you've really got to digest that motherfucker. And I'm just looking at it now going, the Buccaneers now have an even hard, it gets harder. The path to the playoffs gets a little bit tougher. Now, I'm not saying the Buccaneers can't do it. I believe that they can. I think we're all screaming for the likes of Chris Godwin and Bucky to come back. But I don't think if those two came back specifically for this game, it would have made that much of a difference because the offense did score points. Right. I do feel like Baker was off today. I do feel like there was parts of his game that were missing. I do have a feeling that he is very much in certain plays, not every play. He doesn't go through his progressions and he just goes straight to a guy and you're like, there's a guy wide open right next to you. Like there, and I'm a big believer that you can look at any play and see somebody open somewhere, right? And I believe, and I'm a fundamental believer in the game that you go through your read progression. So what I'm saying is sometimes there's a guy wide open, but he might be the 5th read, so he's never going to get sought. He's never get seen, especially if it's a good pass rush. So I'm a believer in that. However, when I see guys in the same kind of cone of vision in his area, and I'm like, how are you not seeing that? Like, how are you not seeing the wide open? And it's because he grabs the ball and just throws it. And I'm like, that's a design play. That's a play that's designed for this person to be open, and it didn't become open.
Right.
Those are frustrating to see.
Yes,
What did
we've seen that
you
with
see?
Rashad. We've seen it with Rashad. Rashad was wide open, and I think he was trying to go to Cade in the end zone. They winded up getting the points. But as fact is, what I saw something, and this is a change of tune I'm going to have because I can't keep defending it anymore. Todd Bowles cannot coach this team under adversity, even with all these injuries. The play calling, how do you go for it for the 2-point conversion 2 times? 2 times you go for it on the 2-point conversion. But yeah, it's 4th and 2. I understand the 7 minutes left in the game, and it's 4th and 2, and you decide to punt the ball. My opinion, Coach Slick, I think they would have gotten that 4th and 2, and I'm thinking of a different
you know
game.
what? It's a mute point whether they do or they don't, but you've got to show the ball sometimes to go for it. And
Yes.
I think going for 2 is less balls than going on 4th down. Going for 2 is just like, oh, if we get it, cool. If we don't, well, we're not out of the game. We're just not as close in it, right? That's the logic, right? But on 4th and 2, when your run game has been humming the way it has been, and the way they were smart, like the play call, the play design on the run game today was real cute, real smart, really clever. Really clever. How do you not simulate a RPO game that simulates that run pass vibe? So they're getting killed by our run game. Okay, now we're going to show you the run game, but we're going to play action it, and we're going to show you the exact same thing. So you all bite, and we're going to catch you out. We didn't do any of that. We didn't do the smart shit. We came up with sexy run plays and really clever designs, but we never really added the next layer. And the next layer to me is you add in that play action. You add in the play action, and then you add in the RPO, the element to it. So now you've got 3 plays that look identical to each other. One's a run play, one's a pass play, and one's an option play where you can decide to run or pass it. Now, the keys to victory, I'm not saying they're there, but you see a clear path on the way that you're going. Everything in the run game pretty much worked. And we'll talk about stats in a minute. But the frustrating thing for me is this defense could get the scary part was we got real nice splash plays on defense. We got fumbles, we got recoveries, we got interceptions, but we don't really turn them into points, which means they're kind of pointless.
Right.
And I've said this, a lot of people don't realize, I don't give up like this whole oh, you should always win the turnover battle. Cool. That is a statistic that looks sexy and is nice to be talked about, because realistically, if I were to throw a interception at the 50-yard marker, so I'm camped out at 50, and I throw an interception to your 25, and you return it for 5 yards, in my opinion, that's just a fucking punt.
Right.
So it's not anything. When you return it, it's only a worthwhile talking interception when it's within your 40 and onwards into their half. Otherwise, who gives a fuck? Like
you get points off of it. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's my point. You kind of got to be in a position where you're threatening. If you're just, it's as if we caught a punt. Cool. It means nothing. The only thing it's done is wiped potential points off the board. That's in my opinion.
Yeah, the defense started off pretty good, and they made some plays. They weren't sexy by any means, but they made the necessary plays. The turnovers, as we just spoke about, but they didn't create anything off those turnovers, and that's a problem. You have to score points off those turnovers, and the play calling, it's like anything that works for us, we tend to shy away from. Like, I would have kept on feeding the ball to Sean Tucker. You got to grind out that defense. It's working. The main thing I talked about in the pregame show with AJ was you have to keep Josh Allen off the field, because this Buccaneer defense, they're okay, but they don't do enough. They're still missing that elite pass rusher. They don't have it.
And they're missing a complimentary linebacker next to Levante David.
Exactly. You know, and I was watching the All 22 last week. 2 times I watched that, and I paid attention to Savassi Dennis. And I said, that's another thing I said in the post-game show. He's got to step up. He did, but he didn't. There's no consistency with this team. And they don't have an identity. They shy away from things that they do good. They try to get too cute sometimes. I don't really like this play calling from Coach Grizzard. Tez had a very bad game, in my opinion. And special teams, what is that? That's football 101. That's football 101. Like,
Yep.
what are you doing?
You just did not want to kick the ball to these guys because you knew they were going to get something out of it. You know?
And that's what killed us, Coach. That's what
Yeah,
killed us.
I mean,
Giving up the ball.
when you put a quarterback in a position that he only has to extend the ball 60 yards to get a touchdown, it's a lot more favorable than having to go 80.
Right.
Yeah, there's more chances for the defense to get you off the field. There's more chances. And don't get me wrong, I think Josh Allen probably played one of his better games of the season, but that's not the
definitely
point.
Had a rebound. Oh, yeah, he had a rebound game from Miami. Coach, we had a chance. There was times where we could have put this game away a few times.
Mm-hmm.
There was times where we could have put this game away a few times. And and it's ironic that Coach Bowles talks about this one thing. We need to have a killer instinct. Well, where is it? Because it's not there.
It ain't coming from coaching challenges because they're a mute point. And they ain't coming from hard game day decisions, right? Because we aren't very good at those. We're just not. It's not a statistical thing. It's just we're passive when we want. I'm talking about when me and you and the rest of us, we want the Buccaneers to be aggressive on certain fourth downs, right? And there are certain fourth downs that it's worth, making an effort for. I'm a big fan of the 2-point play, but I don't think we have a 2-point package that's worth a damn.
Right. I don't feel confident when they line up for a 2-point conversion. I'm
at least thinking, why aren't you trying to run it on that down?
Yeah.
At least sell the run to the point. Like, I love Baker's touchdown because that sold all. That was, for me, that was like the epitome of what was wrong with their defense. Right? So, sell a little bit of the run, get him to bounce out, get him to roll out, and then if there's an option there, you throw it. There's no option. You're holding guys in coverage because you haven't crossed the line of scrimmage, especially when you're inside the 10. You are literally falling over and you're getting first downs and you're gaining yards. So for me, it was just, I loved it because I was like, that's the kind of play I want. It's that I want someone shallow enough that I can just dump it off to him. I want someone a little bit deeper that he's skimming into the end zone that I can play. And I got somebody who's in the end zone. So I've got 3 options. I got the guy who can ding it to. I got a guy who I can probably get it in the end zone from, or I can just run it myself, or there is a guy there. And when you marry those things together, I think you have a really good combination. And that's what worked with that play because they just didn't know what to do because you shy away from the coverage. It's going to be a firm touchdown. And that's the weakness in man. And I felt with Bowles today was he couldn't work out when he needed to play man or when he needed to play zone. Because I understand playing zone, and this is for anyone who doesn't know football, and I'm not discrediting anybody because you're going to have to hear it from an Englishman, which nobody wants to hear if you're American. Playing zone gives you an advantage against running quarterbacks because 9 times out of 10, your eyes are going to flip to the quarterback because you're working to a landmark on the field on a set play. And as you're working to that landmark, you are looking what your wide receiver that you're marked up against and what the quarterback's doing. So if you see a quarterback take off, your first thing is to put a foot in the ground and start working down towards him. When you're in man coverage, your guys are locked on to the leverage tip of the wide receiver or the receiving threat that you're aligned to. So your eyes don't never really look at a quarterback until they've made their break, and you are in a position where you've covered them to a point where you've got them dead to rights. Anyone who looks at a quarterback before that should be shot. It's my cardinal sin.
Mm-hmm.
And we just we just couldn't do it, especially on third down. Yeah. Third down is the bugaboo of this defense. It doesn't matter what down marker, what fucking yardage they got to get. Third down, you may as well go.
16. They're getting it.
We were
It
like,
could be third
kick
and
their ass on
16,
third
third and
down. We'll
20.
kick their ass on second down. On
Yep.
third down, it's kind of like we go, meh.
Yeah. They're just,
That's how it feels.
yeah, it's just that they're not. And I hate to keep bringing up this team, the Patriots, but what's the biggest difference between the Patriots and the Buccaneers as far as coaching goes, in your opinion?
Sharpness.
Like
They're just sharper. Sharp.
Yeah.
Just well
And-
drilled. Knew exactly what they're doing every single time.
Yeah. And not only that, you see what Vrabel was doing on the sidelines with those players. Every single drive in a huddle or whatever the case may be, just made the adjustments. And I don't like saying negative things. I don't like judging people, anything like that. But Coach Bowles, I don't know. I'm starting to lose my faith in this coaching staff because I understand that we have injuries, but like I said in the pregame show,
Not so many on
Coach
defense,
Fleck,
though.
we were doing just fine in the beginning of the season, and we had injuries. We were worse. Our offensive line was diminished. We were rotating pieces
Yep.
up front, and we did fine, and we look worse now. I just, and you can't beat teams like the Lions. You can't beat teams like the Eagles. You can't beat teams like the Bills. What makes you think we're going to advance past the first round in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be
Yeah.
adjustments made here. You know, the whole concept of, hey, we got a lot of injuries. I get it. I understand that. But
Which I totally respect. I'm not expecting them to go win 13 games right now. I'm like, yeah, I get that it's going to be tough. I get there's going to be a slog. But like you said earlier, and I think you nailed it really well, we're just going to have to push our way through.
Oh, I lost my audio. Hold on one second. See,
No
shout
worries,
out, like
man.
I said on the pregame show with AJ. Shout out to Apple for screwing me big time here. Hold on one second. Gotta love it. Thanks a lot, Apple. I appreciate you. There we go. How about now? You hear me now?
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good, brother.
There we go.
And we'll see how we go. But I'm just going to go through a couple of the game leaders and the passing stats.
Yep.
We'll go a bit deeper in this. So Josh Allen goes 19 of 30, 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, and 2 INTs. And it didn't seem to really make a difference because I think we got a touchdown and a field goal out of those 2 INTs. Baker goes 16 for 28, 173, 1 touchdown, 1 INT and 1 on the ground. James Cook on the rushing stat was their leading rusher. 16 carries for 48 yards. Sean Tucker, 19 for 106. 2 touchdowns and 1 in the air. Tyrell Shavers was their top receiver with 4 receptions for 90 yards. I hate seeing that stat. That's when you see someone with like single-digit receptions and they've got double-digit to triple-digit yards, it makes you feel sick. Sterling Shepard was the dude on receiving yards for us with 4 for 54. And we'll just talk a little bit about how the game went down, and we'll start with the first quarter. Buccaneers go up with a field goal, given the 3-point lead. Josh Allen rushes for a touchdown, adds the extras. Baker scrambles for a touchdown with McLaughlin to put in the extra. Josh Allen deep pass catch made to Shavers. That was an ugly splash play, and I really didn't like seeing that one. I think, and I don't think anyone's specifically to blame on it, because when someone looks like they're scrambling, you've got to play the scramble. But here's the thing that I always coached my DBs on: you go when you know, and here's why you know. When that boy passes the line of scrimmage from a DB, now he's free game.
Right.
Before that, let your run defenders take care of him. Your guys who are run first, because your passing defenders are pass first, right? So they're looking for the pass, and then they fit the run. I think everyone got a little bit too giddy about stopping the run, and it killed us twice.
Yep.
There were 2 plays. This was one of them, and there was another one that gets sprang later on, where everyone kind of sucks in for the run, and then it's wide open on the pass. I believe it was one that got them, I think, probably to the 15. And someone just leaked out on a wheel route. No one picked him up. Everyone kind of sucked into this run. as defensive backs, you can't get sucked into the run. Unless the play design says that you're a run-first defender, you can't get sucked into the run. You've got to play the pass until you know in your heart of hearts that that is a fucking run. And I've always told my guys, wait till he passes the line. As soon as he's about to pass the line of scrimmage, he's like a yard, he's a stride or two away. His inertia is going to take him over. His natural gravity or what have you is going to make him cross that line of scrimmage. Now you can come down and play it. You do that before, you are going to get fucked.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Coach, I don't even know what to say. Like I said, I'm just disgusted with the way the team has played in the past 2 games. 2 games that got away from us. And one thing I am going to say, no one won the NFC South this year. The Patriots are actually the NFC South champs because they swept the division. And that's pathetic. As the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's one game you should have won. This is another game you should have won. It's trying not to cuss anymore. You know, I'm trying to be a better person, but it's fucking sad to see. It's fucking sad to see. It is. It's very sad to see. You know, there's knowing that this is Levante David, quite possibly his last year. You know, like the guy deserves better than this. You know, and you're seeing certain things on defense. We got smoked on a play action. Did you see that play that led up to that touchdown for the Bills? It was in the 4th quarter. We got smoked. Like, talk about getting fooled on the play action. This, honestly, a lot of the errors, in my opinion, today, last week, this all comes down to coaching, in my opinion. I'm sorry. The team is not ready. They can't make adjustments. They can't face adversity.
And you can't put it all on injuries because the injuries on the defensive side of the ball is nowhere near to the level.
No.
But I can give the offense sometimes a pass because I know that they're short-handed. Like I get it. And I'm not expecting that passing attack to be as explosive because you're relying on rookie Emeka Ibuka, which is fine. I get that he's as good as he is and he's as good as advertised, and we're really pleased with the decision that Jason Light made to pull the trigger on him. You know, he is the best rookie wide receiver in all of football right now. However, you can't put the entirety of the offense on that guy's shoulders. He's not ready for that yet. Yeah, he's done a great job adjusting to it, but he needs a veteran presence like a Mike Evans, like a Chris Godwin. Sterling Shepard's not that guy. He's not. No. He's a great I'm so glad we got Sterling Shepard back because he is such a good guy in that. But what I'm talking about is that high volume, that I'm the guy kind of wide receiver. The Buccaneers have 2 of them, and both of them are unavailable right now. And it's not. You can have them on the sideline. You can have them wearing civvies. You can have them wearing caps. It's not the same as being in the game with them. It's not the same as shedding blood with each other. It's not the same. So
this team
for me,
desperately misses Bucky too. I will say
100%.
that. But again, it's Coach. You know, it's no excuse, man. Next man up. You know, just gotta.
It's not just the next man up because I'm a big believer in the next man up, but at the same time, the game is not won on X's and O's. The game is won on Jimmy and Joe's. And when you've got flat out not great players and you're not getting the production you want out of them in the ways you should be getting them out of them, so this is when the coaching comes into it. When you are going down with the lesser players, that's when coaching needs to come into effect. That's when coaching is significant. And it's not the offensive side of the ball that's really crippled this team. It was for almost 2 weeks, for sure. For 2 weeks, we against the Saints, we did not look good offensively. No. Against the Patriots, we did not look good offensively. And this week, offensively, we sputtered, but we did score points. We were efficient in that sense. I mean, most teams who score 32 points, I would love to know what the win average is on that, and I'm pretty sure it's over 50%.
Oh, God, yeah.
So this was a straight-out shootout, and we lost it because the defense, and I can't say they didn't make plays because they did make plays, but we just didn't make enough of them. I don't think people realize just how powerful a 3-and-out is.
Yeah.
There's so much merit to a 3-and-out. People don't look at it because it's an unregarded stat. No one talks about how many times have you heard how good a defense is at putting a team at 3-and-out? You don't. You don't hear about it, but it's a stat that's worth so much weight in gold because you're wearing out their offense doesn't even get a chance to think.
It's a momentum killer.
It's a momentum killer, and it puts a strain on their defense because their defense like fuck, we gotta go back out again.
Yeah,
you crack them. So I think that's a stat that two stats I'm a big believer in that don't get talked about enough. Missed tackles.
Yeah.
I want to know who the top linebackers are, but I want to know how many tackles they missed because I want to. Okay, you got 150 tackles. Cool. How many did you miss? You missed 10. Okay, that's solid. Here's a guy who got 150 tackles, but he missed 30 tackles. Well, that's a bit different. You know, argue that a little.
Yeah. Yep. You know, and that's not a cheap shot. That's just a fact. And and I agree with you 150%, man. Like, you know, how crucial missed tackles are, how bad a 3-and-out is for your offense, especially, you know, how, like, again, we talk about momentum. Momentum is a real thing in football, man. Like, you're driving down the field, let's just say you're at the 50-yard line, and then, you know, you get a good kick return, and then your offense just sputters 3-and-out. That's demoralizing. And then you kick that ball off, and then that opposing team goes down the field and scores 7. You know, it's things like that determine the wins and losses.
When we were in that part of the game, I said to my wife right there and then, I said, if they score a fucking touchdown here, it's game over. Like, it doesn't matter how much time's on the clock. It's just too much time to make up for. They're not playing bad enough that we can go down the field twice. It's just not going to happen.
Yep.
Like, I know stranger things have happened, but it's probably not going to happen.
Not going to happen against the Bills. No way. The Bills are a more disciplined team than the Buccaneers. They wouldn't allow that to happen. Not only that, the whole thing that really bothers me, though, is because we're talking about a loss. Honestly, Coach, I would have been a little bit more okay at ease if I would have seen Bowles go for it on that 4th and 2. Because even if you don't make it, damned if you do, damned if you don't, but show me something. Like, that's the whole thing. And I talked about this last year too. Just no balls, man. You got to have balls, man. You, like, the division's on the line here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't keep
we're gonna end up proving that one guy, I don't know what his name was, but he turned around. The Buccaneers are gonna go for this 3-game period. They're gonna lose every single game, and then they're gonna come out and win 5 of their next, which means the Buccaneers will go 11. I think he would lose 2. He put us down as would lose 2, so I think we go 10 and 7.
Yeah. So right now, next Sunday, prime time. How crowning is that? We all know how the Bucs are on prime time at LA against the Rams. I don't know how I feel about that, but I did say to AJ this morning, the Bucs got to win one game here. They have to beat either the Bills or the Rams. You have to stay alive, because you could be looking out. You got the Rams coming up at LA on primetime, and then you have a home game against the Cardinals, which is a little bit more settling. And then you have another home game against the New Orleans Saints, another home game December 11th, my birthday, creamsicle game against the Atlanta Falcons. This is what scares me, Coach. You have the Carolina Panthers December 21st in Carolina. You have the Miami Dolphins away as well. And then you're home for the Panthers. I don't know what the Carolina Panthers are going to be like, because they're so up and down, but they're still a threat in my. I
think what it comes down to, and I think you've got to pause for concern here. It will depend on where they are in the division. Did they win today?
I'm looking that up right now against the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, let's see what the final score was. They did. They won in overtime. So we are tied for first place with the Carolina Panthers.
This is the thing, and the Carolina schedule isn't that tough. Like, to begin with, like I'd say they got the second easiest schedule coming up. So if I look at the Panthers now, okay, so they got a tough 2 games. They're going to go Niners, they're going to go Rams, and then it gets easier. They got Saints, and then no, actually, to be fair, their schedule shit. They go Niners, they go Rams, they go Saints, should get the win there. They go us. That's the contributing factor. If they lose 2 games on the bounce and beat the Saints and then lose to us, their season's done.
Yeah, because they're half a game behind.
Then they got the Seahawks, and then they're going to come back to us. I think the Buccaneers will only rest players if they've got a good seed that they can't advance forward or they can't drop to. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if
Yeah,
they're in a solidified place, it doesn't matter where they win or lose. I think the Buccaneers will rest on January 4th versus the Panthers.
yeah. I
But it
mean,
all depends on where they are at that point in time. But Niners won't be easy. Rams definitely won't be easy for them. They should beat the Saints, but they did lose to the Saints. So,
right.
that conversation is still
Thank
in there.
God. Yeah.
Thank fucking God. And then they go
Thank
us.
God the Saints did something right to help us. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you what, if they would have beat the Saints,
yeah,
we would have been screwed right now. We'd be in second place right now. And the way the NFC is looking out, we wouldn't even make the playoffs at that point. So
it's getting hairy, and the Buccaneers going to put a foot down. They need to get themselves right. This is what we were all hoping off the bye would come, right? You always think that you're coming off the bye, you're going to fix all the problems, or you're trying to fix the problems. At the moment, we're not seeing it.
Nope. Gotten worse.
We're not seeing. No, yeah, we got worse. 100%. And yeah, okay, we have played 2 playoff level teams, but those are the teams you need to win against to kind of prove that you are a playoff contender.
Yeah,
it's all good and fun flexing or winning games against shitty football teams. When it's all said and done, we want to see you beat good football teams. And right now, if I looked at the Buccaneers schedule, what's the Buccaneers schedule that they've played so far in this season? I can turn around and go, okay, that was a good win. Falcons, yeah. Texans, Seahawks is the Seahawks and the Niners are their 2 signature wins of the season, right?
Yep,
they were good wins, and that's what I'm saying. If the Buccaneers can beat the Rams, now people will continue to talk. Now people will talk their shit. Cardinals, we should win. This 6-game part of the season. I mean, I'll be at the Cardinals game myself because it's my 40th birthday, so I'm going to go down there. It's not on the day, of course, but I'll be down there. Me and AJ are going to be doing a fair bit of drinking and partying that week.
I was supposed to go down for the creamsicle game because I'm going to be doing the Tampa Bay Sports Collectors Expo, Elijah Roberts, who I will be interviewing there. It's going to be a fun time, and I was actually going to stay out there because it's the 5th, 6th, and 7th at the fairgrounds. A lot of Rays players and stuff like that. So I'll be spending the weekend there, and I was actually going to, because that creamsicle game is on my birthday, I said, you know what? Let me just stay out there, but man, I just paid off the Escalade and paid off some other stuff, man. And those weren't pretty payments, man. But I cut the trip short. I was like, you know what? I can't. The good thing is the Buccaneers will be there next year too. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it kind of breaks my heart. I'm going to see if I can head out of the convention early and go see that game the week. Let me see, what game is that going to be? The 7th, they play Saints. Ooh.
There you go.
You know what? I might go see that because that will probably make me feel better. But again, Coach, I don't know, man. Honestly, like it's tough to watch. It is, we started off the game good. I thought the Buccaneers did a lot of good things early on. They just can't close the games. They don't have the killer instinct. This is things that Coach Bowles talked about. I think that the coaching staff needs to kind of reevaluate game planning. Coach Grizzard needs to really take a look at himself in the mirror and really look at some film. And hey, at least we won't lose an offensive coordinator this year, because I don't think he's going to get a head coaching job anywhere. But I mean, let me ask you this real quick. Do you think the Buccaneers would be sitting in the same position right now on offense, say, if a Liam Cohen never winded up leaving? And I know that's such a far-fetched question, but who would you rather have out of the 2 evils? Would you take Coach Grizzard, or would you rather have Liam Cohen right now in this situation?
It's an interesting question because one never lost Bucky, right?
Right.
And that's a very different thing. But the flip side to that is Cohen gained a rookie in him, right? He developed. Right. The argument is that he helped develop him. To be honest, neither offense has been that when both have faced injury adversities, and it was mainly wide receivers that were the injury count of both those sides, if irrespective of each year, 2024, 2025. I don't think either of them have done anything to say I'm the clear-cut dude. I think they're kind of on par. I always felt that, and you also got to understand that Grizzard's probably a disciple of Cohen to a degree, right? That's why they kept him. They kept him because he was the inside guy that was with and knew everything. And like, okay, we're not going to change the world here. We're going to take what Cohen and the smatterings that we've been putting in over the last couple of years. And this guy's been there for both of them. He's been there I believe he was there for the Canales year. He was there for the Cohen year. So you kind of got this guy who's got all these ideas on how two different offensive coordinators work. Now he gets to be the OC. So what you should see is a combination of the both, plus his own ideas of what he's gained over his experience as a coach. But at the same time, he's still learning how to be an offensive coordinator, right? Cohen was learning how to be an offensive coordinator. I believe, sorry, not Cohen. Canales was learning how to be an offensive coordinator, whereas Cohen has been one and has had success at different levels.
Yep.
So it's really difficult to say, oh, well, this guy would be definitely better, because you don't know. Like, it's kind of like it's two different seasons. It's two different. It's two different bunch of opponents. There's too many different variables. I like Cohen in everything that he did. I felt we were stronger in a lot of ways. My biggest bugaboo about both these coaches is, why does it take the entire receiving core to get fucked up for anyone to realize that K. Dotton exists?
Yeah.
Because K. Dotton sat there like, I'm this fucking, I'm a good tight end. I'm gonna say he's a great tight end because he hasn't had the opportunity to become great yet.
He's reliable though. He's reliable.
He's a reliable tight end. He does not get worth looking at when everyone's healthy. The moment, and I get it, you've got Mike Evans, you've got Chris Godwin, you've got all these people, but sometimes it's the underdog dude that creeps through the cracks that nobody thinks about and goes, oh, that's fuck, we didn't account for him.
Right.
I think that's the problem. Sometimes you've got the firepower. Okay, play the decoy. Get Mike Evans to run routes that just piss people off, that just push people away and draw coverage. Cool. Play something underneath that. So I'm sending Mike Evans on a nice little post route. I'm gonna send K. Dotton on a nice a swing, or I'm gonna send him on a hitch where he can just get the ball in space and just creep up the field. That's what I want to do, because eventually you're gonna have to come down and play K. Dotton, and then I can go deep. K. Dotton has got such reliable hands when he needs to be. I just think he's not utilized enough, and it's really sad, because I think he's got so much talent, and I love it that he's getting his due respect. But at the same time, like, does it always have to be when half the wide receiving core is dead or out injured? Can't this guy just thrive anyway?
You want to hear a crazy statistic that just popped up into my feed?
Go for it.
Throughout the last two games, the Buccaneers defense has given up 850 yards and 72 points. What are we playing, Madden? Is this a video game? Create a franchise? This is bad.
All right. If you were to tell me what a Coach Bowles defense was around about when we won the Super Bowl, because that's when he cemented his identity as a defensive play caller, because it was hard to really figure him out in 2019 because it took a minute for everything to gel, right? So by the end of 2020, when we won the Super Bowl, I would tell you that a Coach Bowles defense is, I'm going to let you get into about the 50, maybe even the 40, and then I'm going to lay fucking blows on you and knock you out of field goal range, or you're going to punt. And that's what they did. From the 25 to their 40, they allowed you to advance the ball. But as soon as you passed the 50, it was like, nah, We're not letting you do that no more. That shit don't
break.
That shit don't rock with us no more.
Yeah.
We're coming, and you're gonna have to deal with it. And sometimes they won. Most of the time they won. Sometimes they lost. Of course, the enemy gets a vote too. That's part of the game. But that was the identity of a Coach Bowles defense, and I think he's trying to cling to that by playing this kind of backed off soft zone coverage. But I think sometimes it just promotes guys getting open.
Right.
And this is just my opinion. There are times I watch this football team and I go, if we just tightened up the coverage just a little bit. Now, how I teach zone is very different to how the commoner teaches zone. Zone in its principles is a spot drop coverage. Now, there are a million ways to teach it. I play what's called, I coach what's called man unless. Man unless means you're playing man until they do something different. So if you're let's say you're in cover 3, you're the corner. You are lined up against a wide receiver. Doesn't matter which shade. Your goal as a cover 3 guy is to make sure that he gets nothing deep. Well, what you see a lot of guys doing, especially at elementary levels, and what this fucking defense seems to do, is they just fucking back off and they don't really see what that wide receiver is doing. So I'm saying you're playing zone, you're playing man until he does something different that takes him out of your zone. So for the sake of argument, you're playing man on him, and then he all of a sudden he breaks out. Well, now he's the guy who's the flat defender's role. The flat defender's going to take him. So I now look for work for somewhere else. Okay, let's look at it from a different perspective. He's now breaking in. Okay, so the hook seam curl route guys are going to have him. So I don't need to worry about him. I'm looking for work. He decides to go deep. I'm clinging to my man coverage. He is covered. I got him. End of discussion. And he's going to have to beat me with raw athleticism.
Yeah.
That's how I coach it. It seems simple. It's using man principles and combining them with zone. And for the life of me, I think this Buccaneers defense plays spot drop coverage because everyone just seems to stand and watch and then react.
Yeah.
It's so hard to watch.
I know.
It's
I
so
agree.
hard to watch. I got safeties stood at 12 yards, just stood there watching. And then a play comes past them, and then they stick a foot in the ground. They're static. They're sluggish. They're sluggish because they're not moving their feet.
Nope.
People don't understand the merit of momentum in the sense of your body. If I'm traveling backwards and I stick a foot in the ground, these guys are fucking top-notch athletes. I stick a foot in the ground, T-step it, and I drive down. I've got more chance of getting a guy gaining 3 yards in depth and putting a foot in the ground and driving down than I have to be in completely fucking standstill watching a guy catch a fucking pass and drive down on him.
Yeah,
you're going to get there quicker. It's a weird thing to say. It's just a reactionary thing. You'll feel it because you're reading what you're seeing. You're going bang, 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 bang. Your feet are just working in motion. All of a sudden, a guy who's flat-footed, who's completely still, has to gain that momentum. So they have to push themselves, put the foots in the ground, build that momentum, and then come down. And it takes a second or two. It takes a few steps before you get that. A guy who's in motion, these guys, at the level they're at, they can flip it like that. Boom, boom, boom. You see it all the time.
Yeah, it's honestly, Coach, it's getting hard to watch, and they need to make some adjustments because they're not going to win many more ball games.
The biggest adjustment that needs to be made, they got to walk out with this 3-game series. They got to walk away with one. They got to walk away with one. I'm not saying they get seasons lost, but beating 2 teams with a plus 500 record is not going to cut it in the playoffs.
No,
it's not. There's too many holes.
Then you got to start establishing this. You can't be doing this. Oh, hey, we're running the football now, and then the next game you can't get nothing going on the ground, because in order to get to that Super Bowl, in those cold weather games, it started to snow a little bit in Buffalo. I don't know if people seen the flurries, but it's going to get only colder because now your record is shit. So now you're going to be what, the 4th seed You're going to be traveling. Maybe they might get a home game, but I mean, look, in order to advance deep into the postseason, you need to play good defense and you need to run the football efficiently. At least we saw some good things with Sean Tucker. I hope moving forward that they go with Sean Tucker a little bit more. I don't know what's going on with Rachaad White. I expected more from Rachaad. I don't know.
I don't think he had a bad game. I'll just bring up his numbers for a second and see where he's at. And I don't think he was particularly poor. I just don't think he got the production that they would have liked to have seen from him.
Because I expected more from Rachaad White. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for him to have that full. There's got to come a time where I thought this was a game where Rachaad was going to just kind of put the team on its back and just run the football down the Buffalo Bills' throat. I'm waiting for him to have that 100-yard game, and it just hasn't.
Rachaad White had not a shabby day. I mean, he was 10 carries, 51 yards, 5-1 a carry.
Yeah.
He wasn't poor. I think they just liked the directness of Sean Tucker because Sean Tucker will up a shoulder down and he'll drive and drive and drive. What I like about Rachaad is Rashaad's got such great vision. There were times that Sean Tucker would just run into a guy. It was like he couldn't see nothing. He was just, I'm going this A gap. This A gap's going to be open, and I'm just going to fucking hit it. And he'll get what he gets out of it. And if it's blocked well, he'll spring it for a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas Tucker will turn around and go, okay, that's my initial hole is not open. I'm going to put a foot in the grass. I'm going to turn. I'm going to cut. And I'm going to hit this. I'm going to hit the C, and I'm going to get everything I can get out of it.
Right.
And that's the difference you get out of those two. And I think sometimes you got to balance. I think Sean Tucker is great if you're trying to be direct, and I think Rachaad White is a good guy to put in just open space and just let him loose. And I think why we don't have a toss play invented for him that he can just thrive on is shocking to me.
Right.
Because he's so good in space. He's so good at making people miss. He's so good at almost the ballerina act and so light on his feet. And we just don't get that production out of him. But it is what it is.
Yeah. It's we're on to LA and it sucks, but I mean, they got to get the win here, coach. They got to get the win in LA. Got to win this game. It's an important game. They have to, to stay alive. And I hate this every year. Oh, we got it's so crucial to win a game because we're neck to neck with somebody in the division, and you can't play like that. And because now you're wearing your guys out a little bit more because these guys have to. I don't want to say they have to play harder, but your body does take a little bit more of a beating when the division's on the line every single week. You know what I'm saying? And that's how guys get hurt. And the whole point is we have to get healthy. And as long as the Buccaneers can win. Go ahead.
Coach Bowles in his seasons that he's been a head coach struggles in the midseason.
Yep.
Has a poor record by the time he gets into the last 8 games. So I think we're in that kind of section where we're in now.
Yep.
And then he'll just turn it the fuck up and he'll win out or he'll win a good chunk of them. And then you bolt that on to like a 5 win and then he'll win 6. He'll win another 5. But that middle of the season, that 7 game period or 8 game period, he was stuck. And this is what me and AJ have been saying for the last 3 years. Last 2 years, he needs to sort out this middle of the season. That's why, for me, it's crucial that he walks away with a win. Because in the last, we're going to look at the Buccaneers schedule. You look at what they've done, and it's not been that great. So their last win was what? Against the Saints.
Yeah.
Right?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. You can't drop 3 games in a row. You can get away with 2 and get back on track and get yourselves right. And then you're going to go in what I've been calling the homestead. Yeah, you got Cardinals, Saints, Falcons. You should walk away with it. You should walk away with all 6 of these games. I will let you lose one because sometimes a divisional rival will just catch you off guard.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
happens.
Those
But if
division.
you walk away with a win next week, and then you cough up a win in the 6-game period, that puts you 4 losses.
Yeah.
We'll take that. But we've only beat down on weak teams. That's why we need. I don't want us to lose against the Rams and then win out.
Yeah, that's what
It won't
concerns me,
matter.
Coach.
It doesn't matter. I was like,
That's what concerns me.
we lose against the Rams, but we beat the Cardinals. Well, the Cardinals are fucking nobody.
Yeah.
We beat the Saints. Saints are nobodies. Falcons are nobodies. Panthers, okay, at that point in time, they might be nobodies. Dolphins are nobodies. Panthers at the end of the season are nobodies. I don't give a fuck if we win 6 games in a row.
I want to see a convincing win.
I want to see a convincing win. Exactly that. I want to see us take another team. That means 3 wins against above 500 teams. Cool.
Yep. Now
we can say we can hang around with good teams, especially on the road. Because the Buccaneers have won what? They beat the Niners at home and they beat the Seahawks on the road. Get that other road win. Solidify your dominance. Win out these next 6 games, and now we're talking. Okay, the Buccaneers are good.
Yeah, I think they're 4-2 on the road right now.
Yeah,
4-2.
Yeah,
4-2 with the loss against the Bills. Yeah, because the Bills were 4-1 at home and we were 4-1 on the road. Yeah, so we're 4-2, which is not bad. We're road warriors. I'll take that.
we
But
just need to win at home.
I just want to see a convincing win. And I feel like, Coach, if you get that convincing win against the Rams, and I said it earlier today on the postgame with AJ, if we beat the Bills, the morale of the team, the confidence level going into next week is huge. Now, one thing I did pick up on, Coach, I don't know if you've seen it at the end of the game. You know what I seen a lot? I seen a lot of defensive players like this, head down on the sideline. That to me is concerning because I get they had a bad game, to let one go, but something needs to be done this week. I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't know if they need to have a pizza party to get everybody's morale up. Something, man. But they have. I can't emphasize this enough. This is a big game going up against the Rams. They need to take this game on prime time. I'll tell you what, take this game against the Rams. My confidence level will be restored in them because it's in LA. It's a primetime game. And this is what they need. I'm not giving up on the season yet. I'm not giving up on, it's get back some momentum. And then once you beat a team like the Rams, arguably one of the best teams in the NFC, secretly, I think they're a problem. But if you can beat this team, and you just talked about the rest of the schedule, and you start stringing up those wins, guys are going to start to feel real good. You coach, you see it. You're going to start to feel real good about yourselves. And then going into the postseason, who knows? You may end up the 2nd seed or the 3rd seed. Who knows? But Coach, they got to do something, man. Go have a pizza party. I don't know. Do something.
Statement win and a lot of work that needs to be done. And then cultural, I think this defensive unit hasn't been poor until this game. This was the worst game that they played all season. This was the worst. This defense. They got the splash plays. They got the turnovers and all the good stuff.
One-sided football. Offense can't complement the defense. Defense can't complement the offense. We've seen it all year.
And the special teams then complementing nobody.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest. If you had to ask me what was the biggest kryptonite for the Buccaneers today, I think special teams came back and haunt us again because the thing is, I don't think that's going to be something that's going to get solved. That's my problem. Yeah. I don't think you can solve that mid-season. Yeah,
you can't.
It is at this point.
Everyone can turn around and say you can fire a coach, but you can't fire a coach and bring in another coach and he completely redefines everything this late in the season. It's just not going to happen.
No.
So we are stuck with this right now. That they've got to find tweaks that they can do to make it better. That's all that can be done. Or find fucking Jimmys and Joes that can execute at the way it's supposed to be done. Because if the scheme's not working, then look at the Jimmy and Joes. If the scheme's not working and the Jimmy and Joes are dudes, then you need to look at the fucking scheme. But you can't change the scheme too much because you've already implemented it. Your fingerprints are on it. It's like when people turn around and go, "Oh, we could just go and get another offensive guy." Not in the middle of the season. You can't
No, you
change
can't.
coaches mid-season. How many times have coaches been changed mid-season and they've gone on to do well? It doesn't
Yeah.
happen that way.
Yep. You'll have a couple of Cinderella games. That's about it. But nothing. You're not going to make any noise, and you're not going to.
Nothing
You're absolutely
lasting
right.
until the next season.
No.
Until the next season. And you can't be playing for next season right now. We're not
Nope.
that type of team. We're the
Nope,
type
we're
of
in win
team
now
that
mode.
needs to win.
Yeah, you're in win now mode. We still have some key components from that Super Bowl team, not too far out, not a couple of years ago. It's just like I said, I just expect more from this team, and I get it. We have injuries, but this team has enough depth on this team to overcome those injuries. They just got to get more creative. That's it. Schemes. Got to do better. Just got to do better. You can't blame players, and it comes down to preparing these guys and putting a game plan together and figuring out what works, making adjustments. Coach Vrabel last week with the Patriots, the Buccaneers went down the field against the Patriot defense, and what did Coach Vrabel do? He made the adjustments.
Yep,
that's what we got to do.
The adjustments were great. So just to let you go, Louis, tell everyone where they can find you, what you're up to, and when you're next on, because I know you have your own thing that you do in the Frozen Pirate podcast.
Yeah, so I am the Frozen Pirate podcast. I normally do post games. Those are actually fun, very colorful, a colorful language that everybody likes to use. I do enjoy it, but I do not enjoy losses. I might do a post-game show. I don't know, depending on what's going on, because my laptop was supposed to be ready for, like I was telling AJ, I've had that. I just bought a brand new Apple MacBook Pro, whatever, 4 months, shit the bed on me. So I'm waiting for that to get fixed. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram, the Frozen Pirate Podcast, on X, Louis FPP. And this Wednesday, we're going to go live around the NFL. We got a good crew for that. Basically just going to be talking about all the fun stuff that's going on around the NFL. And me and Daniel Morales will be ranting about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So should be fun. I might do a post-game show, but I don't know, Coach. I don't know if I'm up for it. I'm just very, I feel very defeated, if you will. I got a headache from watching that.
Man, I'm with you, bro, because I do the post games too. So me and you always talk about when we're going to do our post games and stuff. And I'm with you, brother. Like when you go losses, they do take a toll when you got to come out here and you got to talk about it. And
it's hard. It's hard.
You got to try and find a positive. You don't want to be all negative, because that's
right.
One way of looking at it. I want to try and split down the middle. It's tough after a while. Like, don't get me wrong, though. I'm quite happy to do this than go back to the Jameis Winston years where it was the other way around. So
that wasn't fun. But so now you're bringing back some very traumatic memories watching Jameis Winston. That was tough. You know what? On that note, it could be worse. We could be watching 3. I'd rather take this loss than a pick 6 to end the game.
Yeah. The Buccaneers are still competitive. We just gotta find that marker where we just take over.
Yeah,
we had it at the beginning of the season. We were fucking comeback kings. We were all those things. It's not happening right now, and I think we're just not getting the rub where we would like to have got it. But hey, Buccaneers got to find a way. They got to find a way to win, and the team has got to be all in on that way. This is the way. Follow this way, and we're going that way. And that's the only. There are no stop line. There are no stop signs. There are no traffic lights. There are no speed limits. We are going that fucking way as fast as we fucking can, and no one's going to stop us.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's tough, but we'll get to it, guys. Make sure you smash that like button for this video. Make sure you guys support Bucs Report and Coach Slick, AJ Turnup, everybody there. Everybody here's got some good stuff, right? So looking forward to doing another show.
Together on this. Look out, bro. Appreciate you.
Right. Peace. Thank you. Appreciate you.
See you, man. Okay, guys, that is the end of the show. Thank you for persevering with the pain that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who could not get it done against the Buffalo Bills today. Don't lose faith. Stay strong, because this season ain't done yet. First in the NFC South. That's all I see. That ain't changed yet. Buccaneers can flip this thing around and get it back on track. A win next week puts it there, And hey, Bucs, I need to see a live in-person win. I have watched you guys. This will be my fourth time. I watched you when you played the Ravens back in 2014. You lost. You got blown out. I watched you play the Panthers in London. You got blown out. You lost. I watched you play against the Falcons at home for a creamsicle game last year. You lost. You're going against the Cardinals. Please, 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 please give me my fucking win. I want to experience what it's like to be in Raymond James Stadium when the Buccaneers win a fucking football game. And it's not like we're a poor football team anymore. Give me what I need. I'm 40 next week. I'm coming. Give me what I want. Otherwise, I'm going to have to fucking show up at One Buck Place Monday morning, December fucking 1st, and I go, Bowles, give me the keys. I'm going to drive this thing like I fucking stole it. And on that note, Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs!